Kung Fu was originally developed as a martial art. People learned it for fighting as a means for survival. In combat, the stakes are high. The stakes could be injury or even death. That makes for some pretty straightforward and immediate feedback. For those of you who practice martial arts, you know what it is like to have someone closing in on you. You don't know what they're going to do or what they're capable of. Suddenly they attack, and it's fast and it's furious, and in that moment, you have to be able to stay present and respond while being attacked. And so this is a great metaphor for life. This is one of the reasons I've named my channel The Way of Kung Fu. Kung Fu really is a way of life, a way of living. It is a great vehicle for self-discovery. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Mike and I'm a Kung Fu and Tai Chi teacher based out of Boulder, Colorado. On this channel, I share inspiration and strategies each week around topics such as personal growth, self-care, and mindfulness to help you live a more masterful life that is both intentional and fulfilling. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Many people learn martial arts in order to learn how to fight or protect themselves. And as I mentioned in the intro, this is a core essence of Kung Fu. Without the martial aspect, Kung Fu, the martial art, ceases to be Kung Fu. But for many of my students, learning to fight is not their only goal. While they may wish to develop skills to conquer what is out there, they are also looking for tools to be able to turn and direct inward. Kung Fu is at the same time a mind-body practice, a way of developing greater self-awareness, a practice of looking at aspects within ourselves that we may wish to defeat or perhaps more accurately integrate. And so while fighting or sparring in Kung Fu, we have this other person coming at us. They're trying to attack us, and when we get hit, it can be very disoriented. We may have thoughts of running away or despair, like, what can I do? It can feel like the walls are quickly closing in on us, and we're just trying to find a way out. And they just keep coming. They don't stop. Unlike the movies, it can be raw and messy. And so in that moment, we're being tested. Can we stay present during the onslaught with whatever emotions that come up, like anger or fear? Or will we become paralyzed or disoriented? Will our mind go blank? Will we shut down? Will we be fixated on how we just got hit a second earlier? Or will we be able to respond with the techniques that we've trained and flow with the unfolding situation? And so Kung Fu is a great metaphor for life. Just as how the person coming at us doesn't stop, life doesn't stop. We're constantly being presented with challenges and obstacles, whether we're seeking them out or not. And we may have our practices, our affirmations, our routines, but the test is what happens when something intense gets thrown our way in life. Are we able to maintain a sense of calm and spaciousness where we have our wits about us so that we can figure out what to do next? Or do we freeze and go into shock, or have our minds get stuck in recurring negative thought patterns where we retreat and avoid what has caused us this pain? Many of us can get stuck in avoidance for months, years, and even a lifetime. As you can probably guess, I believe the way of Kung Fu is about learning how to lean into the former. Yes, it's definitely a process, a journey, a practice. It takes self-discipline, but I believe it is one that invites greater vitality and freedom in our lives. It's about deepening self-awareness. It's about noticing things about ourselves that don't serve us or that hold us back, and taking the initiative to start working on them. And while my personal path has been with Kung Fu, the martial art, the way of Kung Fu is truly universal. It is applicable and accessible to everyone, and what I'm calling self-mastery in this video. And I want to differentiate this from mastery, especially since that's the title of this video. A lot of people confuse mastery with self-mastery. Mastery is having proficiency or expertise in a skill or a subject or an art form. I remember reading Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers when it first came out. In it, he popularized the idea that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become a master performer in a given field. But self-mastery is about living in harmony with life itself. Self-mastery is the practice of inviting awareness, of emptying the mind so that we can remain balanced and open when something big happens in our lives. It's not about the 10,000 hours. There are people who are masters or experts who are extremely skilled at what they do, whether it be a profession or a calling, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have mastery of self, or that they've integrated or used their skill in such a way that has expanded their understanding of themselves or how they move in the world or relate to others. There are plenty of really talented people who are truly amazing at something. They may have mastered a particular subject or field, but not themselves. So while they may be put on a pedestal by society because they're a successful business owner or a world-class athlete or an academic genius, they may not be nice people, or they may have a big or fragile ego, where they might not even feel good about themselves. So it's not necessarily helpful for us to model those who just have a narrow field of expertise. So we must look towards a more transcendental mastery. It's about the attainment of skill, but it is also about the integration of the process we went through to develop that skill, such that we have a deeper understanding of ourselves and thus our relationship to the world. So the skills or expertise we develop is just a way for us to get to know ourselves better. The path of self-mastery requires a lot of work, but anybody can do it. It is the practice of mastering our lives. And because it is our life that we're trying to master, we need not compare our journey with anybody else. Our path is individual and unique to ourselves. There is no one to compete against when we're talking about self-mastery. And so mastery versus self-mastery is the difference between doing and being. When we're being, we're just being ourselves. And as I've mentioned in many of my previous videos, this takes courage. It requires focus, effort, and self-discipline. But the fruit of this path is being connected with ourselves and our surroundings. We're present and aware. There's a spaciousness of presence which witnesses the unfolding of each moment before us. And so for my Kung Fu students, this is what all the training is for. It's about practicing being present and learning from our mistakes and being curious about that which we resist or avoid. This is what everything is leading to. It's really a journey towards simplicity and being able to flow, a space of freedom, peace, and harmony. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Leave me a comment down below letting me know if you see the difference between mastery and self-mastery the same way. And please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and would like to receive inspiration and strategies like this each week. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.